Hey everyone, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today we are in Millington, New Jersey, and we've got a brand new pond installation on tap for today. We got a garden space here that was being used for some planter boxes, just a little pathway. We're gonna turn this into a 10 by 10 pond with a nice waterfall coming out of the corner here. We're gonna have a little stream, and we're gonna have another ancillary waterfall that falls right into the pond. This is gonna be a memorial garden for the homeowner's father. Challenge here is from this patio to the fence, this yard drops off a good 1.5 to 2 feet. That means we're gonna have to raise this side up. We're actually gonna build a retaining wall back here, lift this whole back section up, and in the corner, we're gonna go another 2 feet higher so we get some elevation to build a waterfall. We're gonna leave about an 18-inch gap in between the fence and the wall. This way they can plant some decorative grasses to kind of disguise that wall from the driveway side. Once that's in, we're gonna fill a lot of this in and start excavating for our 10 by 10 pond. I want a skimmer on the back side. Like I was saying, we're gonna do a waterfall over here, get a nice cross flow, and we'll create a little seating area here for a stone bench. That's gonna be a nice little reflection spot once the pond is finished. And when people walk into the backyard, up the sidewalk, the first thing they'll encounter is this memorial garden. I got the usual suspects today. I got Boley back here, Anthony is on the crew, and we've got one guy that's joining us this week that's a new fella. Dan's 65 years old, and he said to himself, you know what, I think I wanna be a pond builder. And he got a hold of me and said, can I come down here and work with you guys? So he hopped on his Jazzy, came down to Jersey, and here he is. So what are you thinking, Dan? 65 years old.
Loving it.
Yeah?
Loving it.
What do you like most about the water feature industry? Like what are you hoping to get from this?
Creative. Every job's different. And you get hugs from people when you're done.
I'm actually paying him in hugs. It's perfect. Let's get started. Good morning and welcome to day 2. Our retaining wall is in. We've got gravel behind the wall along with this heavy road fabric that's separating the soil from the gravel. So we'll have plenty of drainage behind the wall. These blocks actually get filled with gravel as well. So we've got a lot of good drainage going on here. We kept it about 14 inches off the fence. They're gonna eventually plant some tall grasses here. So when you pull up the driveway, the grasses kind of mask the back of the wall and you won't really see it. We bumped up about another 2 feet right in the corner here. This is where we're gonna set our biofalls for the waterfall. The waterfall will be starting here, spilling out, and then we're gonna split it. We're gonna have one drop coming into the pond this way, and then we're gonna go down a stream, cascading down and making its way into the pond on this side. Now we can lay out the footprint of our pond, set our skimmer, set our biofalls, put the plumbing in, and dig this thing. Boy, we got an excavation going here. We carved out a beautiful shape for the pond. It's got lots of nice ins and outs. It's gonna give it a lot of interest once it's all rocked in. We're down 2 feet in the middle, so that's gonna be 2 feet of water down in there. Far end, we've got it carved out for where our fish cave is going. This is where our skimmer's installed, and our biofalls for the waterfall is up top. This is gonna be nice because water's gonna be coming out of that, splitting this way. We'll get a waterfall down in here, then we're gonna stream around and go that way. All that water flowing into the pond is gonna be pushing across to where our skimmer is gonna be pulling that water in. So when debris gets in this pond, it gets on the surface, it'll be swept right across over to our maintenance point, which is the skimmer, keeping that top of the pond nice and clean. First thing to go in was our fabric underlayment. That's going to give us some protection for our liner. Anything that might be in the bottom. Now, we went through and combed this really well and made sure there was no sharp rocks in there. But before we put our liner in, that fabric has to go in, then our liner, and actually on top of the liner in spots, we're replacing some of the larger boulders. We'll use fabric there also. Really just having that sandwich of protection. In the long run, it's worth the peace of mind. Once our liner goes in, we can go ahead and hook up our skimmer and start rocking. Getting to my favorite part, and that is the waterfall. We've set our first stone. This is going to be a frame rock for a waterfall on the left-hand side right here. Just by itself, it looks a little awkward and weird, but when we start layering other stones in front and behind it, it's going to get built right into the waterfall. We're going to end up coming this way, and we're going to frame something over here because I want to see like one like ribbon style waterfall, maybe just like 4 inches wide, dropping in to the pond there. Behind this, we tuck in the stream, and the main waterfall is going to be on this side, probably anywhere from 12 to 18 inches wide, and that'll drop in right there. Right now, I got Dan and Boley working on doing some stacked slate work up against where we're going to do a flagstone little patio. There's going to be a bench back here, and we want to have that flagstone come out and just cantilever right over the pond, like a clean edge. We're going to cut that, stick some boulders in there, kind of break up the outside edge a little bit, but that's going to be awesome. Coming off that deck onto this little landing, you'll be able to stand right over the pond, which will make it feel that much bigger. We've got a real nice selection of rocks to work with. I like some stuff that has some flat tops on it. Gives us the ability to layer back behind one another. So we'll have another rock maybe back behind here. We could even go on top of this if we want it, because that's a nice flat area. Again, more of the same kind of stuff. Different shapes, but it sticks with that flat top that I like to use. Not to say we won't use some round stuff, but majority of what we'll be doing here will have some flat type structure to it, if that makes any sense. I got my main man here. He's gonna get on the strap, start sending him in, right bud?
Yeah.
The waterfall's really coming out great. We set some nice big frame rocks inside the pond. This big one is actually going to be framing 2 waterfalls. We've got this one that's going to be dropping straight in, probably about 14 or 16 inches into the pond here. We've got a light position at the bottom, so at night that all that stonework that's in there is going to be highlighted. You'll see that beautiful cascade. And then behind it, we've got the waterfall that's coming out of the biofalls. It's going to spill into this pooling area, and from there it's going to split off of here, and it's going to go that way as well. We've got a secondary waterfall inside the pond. Boley did some more of his awesome stacked slate work, and then we're going to have a cool little pool, little stream area behind it. And that's where that other waterfall comes in and feeds this section. We poured a pad last night for that bench to sit on. This way, it's gonna be nice and stable, because the worst part about garden benches is you put them in the dirt and they start to sink and sag over the years, and sometimes they fall over. So we're gonna prevent that from happening by having a nice concrete pad in there. We set the elevation of that low enough so we can bring our flagging right over the top of it, kind of countersink that whole bench right in there. And then on this side, we're gonna take that memorial stone and we're gonna build that into the patio. So right next to the bench, you'll have that nice little memorial surrounded by all this flagging. Now keep in mind, this whole space is like 14 by 17. We are cramming a lot into this small space, but when it's all done, it's gonna fit beautifully. We are so extremely close to finishing. The patio is done. Boulevard did an amazing job on that. You'll get to see the way he incorporated the memorial stone into that. That looks absolutely spectacular. The bench looks great over there. Right now, Dan is just cleaning things up, and we are actually filling the ponds. You know we're close to finishing. Stick around. We're gonna get this thing buttoned up and show you what we came up with and get the family's reaction.
Round one.
You guys ready?
Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful. So my dad unfortunately recently passed away. Really sad moment for us. We wanted to do something really positive in his memory. We were thinking about doing a tree, but it just didn't seem like the right thing. And he used to own a pool company where he worked with a lot of natural stone. And it was one of those things. It was a couple days after he passed, and it just came in my head, we need to do koi ponds. It was so weird. And it's like, this encapsulates everything we were thinking of. It's just natural, and it works with our property. It's just beautiful. And we have a little memorial area over here with the stone. It blends in really, really nicely. And you know, our goal is to be able to come out here and sit down on the bench and, you know, just spend some time kind of with my dad, and something he would be proud of.
How could you ask for a better reaction than that? To have this place now where they can spend some time reflecting, enjoying this garden, thinking about their father or their husband. It's just so special, and this is the reason we do this each and every day, touching people's lives with the sound and sights of water.